This video is a response to Professor Alex's very good points, which I speak to in this. Anyway, here we go. Man, I hate to say it, as I tend to agree with a lot of what you usually have to say, but Professor, can't say I disagree with you more. I would not put Diantha dead last. It's not that your opinions and facts about her were wrong. It's just that it would be dull if she immediately loses to Lance, because it's predictable. In addition, when Ash battled her, she seemed caught off guard, kind of like she wasn't expecting Ash to do well. She was kind of being like, okay, little boy, I'll battle you. I don't think she was giving it her all in that battle, is what I'm getting at. Who knows what she's truly capable of until we see the episode this week, where the writers will definitely show her at her best. All these trainers are going to be shown at their best potential when their respective episodes come up. Next one he had at 7th place was Lance, to which I said, Lance is the champion of 2 regions. IRL is just because the game developers slash anime writers lazily went with the tacked on Kanto revisit at the end of Gold slash Silver, and the nature of Johto being treated as a direct sequel to the original games, without figuring out how future games or regions would be treated. Who even knew if they knew if they'd be making Pokemon games and anime based on it 20 years later. So Lance was kind of the OG champion, but unless a meta feeling third wall is broken in the Pokemon universe, Lance is a powerhouse who takes no names and swept 2 regions. Yes, a lot of the stuff is off screen, but yeah, that's the fault of the writers. They didn't show it to us. But the point is, this tournament is their chance to show us these powerhouses who they're telling us, oh, they're so great. They did all this stuff off screen. This is the time that they're going to show it and prove it to us. So to rank people by who you think they're doing, including things like them getting off screen that we never see as a factor, just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because the whole point of this tournament is to see these things, which is coming as we speak in these next few weeks. Let's see. Next one he had was so I just said so far from how I was ranking things. So far, I'd put Diantha at least 7th place as a champion of a region. After all, she shouldn't be in 8th place. I'd put Lance in maybe 3rd or 2nd for being champion of 2 regions, which I kind of revised later in that response. Looking back on it, I'd put him at 4th. Next, Iris. I'd honestly put her at a... Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'll be up in a minute. I'm just doing a video. Just a roommate of mine. Don't really know how to edit on QuickTime yet, and I think it's kind of funny to have these real life interruptions, so just going to keep that in there. We're having cake and ice cream for somebody else in the household in a little bit. Anyway, next, Iris was the next person on his list. Next, Iris. I'd honestly put her at a tied 7th with Diantha. We are told how powerful she is, but I still have so many memories of the struggling trainer who had up to 3 Pokemon at one point who wouldn't obey her. When she made her triumphant return, she was defeated by Ash with 1 Pokemon being knocked out with 1 hit. The writers can redeem her in the next upcoming battle, but I don't really see it. I'd put Steven in an undefined area because we haven't seen too much battling. We have seen some, but he is presented and shown to be tough. But since he is a champion and didn't have a clumsy battle like Diantha, or have a Pokemon 1-hit KO'd like Iris, let's put him at 5th. So far, Diantha, Iris is 7th, Steven at 5th, Lance I would put at 4th because the 2 title champion name, and remember, we haven't seen him as best yet. Cynthia's 3rd, hands down. I want to give her a higher number, but we still got to get to Leon and Ash. Leon is 2nd. The writers are aiming for Ash to win this and have made Leon godly up to now with his reputation and boast of never being defeated. Now, where we definitely will disagree. I totally disagree about Alon being your 2nd place trainer. I know you said that Leon has plot armor, and we haven't seen how good he is, but it's just that we haven't seen his full potential yet, and the writers are the authors of the story. But your big point about Alon and his strength, so not as much in you and other PokeTubers, but I too felt the Leon vs. Alon battle was rushed and disrespectful. However, after speaking to a friend of mine, he brought up a good point. Alon is merely the Kalos tournament winner. There have been others before him. He didn't go on to defeat Diantha. There was no mention of him defeating any of the Kalos Elite Four. Alon is the weakest link in the tournament. What it comes down to is bad writing on the part of the writers if we as viewers are led to feel a different way. After all, Diantha's battle with Ash was clumsy. Iris had one hit KO. But in the end, those two, along with every other trainer there besides Alon, earned the title of champion. Let's just view Ash's battle with Kukui's Elite Four slash champion battle, Valola. The writers wanted Alon to be the strongest trainer Ash had battled in his life. At the time, Ash had never won a league. IRL, Ash has been written in a way that he and the other trainers in the Master Raid are more powerful at this point. In universe, Ash has grown since Kalos. Now, this may sound like hogwash because the Elan versus battle, Ash versus Elan battle is so cool and totally epic. And it was. It was for August 2016 and that part of Ash's journey. That's why at the time we did see some of the finest fighting the anime had to offer. That's because the writers wanted Elan to be that too cool to care ultra trainer for that time. They didn't want to invest Diantha with the untouchable Leon-esque majesty. Yes, Alon versus Ash was much better than Ash versus Iris. But then again, most battles in Journey are subpar, as best compared to Kalos Sinnoh battles or any gym battle after Candle. The point is, Alon has the Sasuke bad boy attitude and look, which has been popular in the anime community for years. That, with a well written story and a great battle, I can see why you have high esteem for him. But in the story itself, Alon is the weakest link. If that wasn't conveyed by the strength of the other trainers, the writers goofed, and they only have one more chance to prove this point to us. So, Alon at 8th place. Ash at first. Writers said so. Um, yep, I know a lot of you probably hate me. Honest assessment.